Hi there. Learn how to build these custom and dynamic charts entirely from scratch using pure JavaScript. No more external libraries needed. We'll guide you through the process of drawing and customizing your charts on the HTML canvas, giving you full control over every details. Don't miss this opportunity to enhance your coding skills and bring your data to life with stunning visualization. And I upload unique project videos every week. Please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below. If you have any questions or suggestions, make sure to subscribe our channel Sarachandar K. Your support means a lot. That helps me to create more content for you. And hit that notification bell to stay updated with our latest content. Here's a quick preview of the chart we'll be creating today. It's simple but fully functional and we'll go step by step to build it. This is a great way to understand how charting works under the hood. Now let's dive into the code. Let's open this charts in Canvas project folder in my favorite code editor, Visual Studio Code. Let me know your favorite and why in our comment box below. It's hard to believe that we have finally made it to the end of our 52 weeks, 52 projects in JavaScript. It's been a year of coding, learning and growing together. And today we are wrapping things up with our final project, reflecting on what we have learned and looking forward to what's next. I have added all the links in the description. If you are interested, please do check it out. Here inside the directory, I have already created index.html, style.css and script.js. Here in the index.html, I have already added HTML boilerplate with the help of exclamation mark. Along with that, I have changed the title to Charts in Canvas by Sharachandar K. And below, I have linked other two files, style.css and script.js. Now inside the body, we are going to add the game elements with the help of Canvas. Canvas is an hero of today's project. Canvas is used to draw graphics on the fly via scripting. So I will use Canvas to add the graphics of the charts with the help of ID of Canvas. I will close this element and will style this. For that, I need to jump to the style.css. I have already added import URL of font family Poppins. Along with that, I have added global selector of asterisk to reset the margin to 0px, padding to 0px, box sizing, border box, font family Poppins. Along with this, we need to add the styles to the body with the help of element selector name called body. For this body, we'll set the background color as blue and we'll set the min height to 100 VH, display to flags, align item center, justify content center, and we'll set the flux direction to be column. Along with this, we need to add the styles to the canvas with the help of element selector canvas and we'll set the padding of inner spacing 1 rem and we'll set the background color to black. We'll set the box shadow to this with 14px 0 and 0 of the position with color of white. Now let us see our HTML file in action. For that, in Visual Studio Code we have a extension called Go Live. In the status bar, once we click, the tool will automatically run our project into the default browser. Here we can see the canvas with box shadow effect and then body background color as blue. Now we need to add the functionalities to show the basic chart to advanced level. So for that, I need to add the functionalities with the help of JavaScript. For that, I need to jump to the script.js. Here we need to add the declaration for the project with the help of const canvas equal to document. Document is an owner of our web page With the help of this, we can do all our implementation. With the help of get element by ID, why? Because we have used this canvas into the IDs. So I will copy this ID and I will paste it here, and one more declaration of ctx equal to canvas dot get contact of 2D. This will help us to get the properties and methods of the canvas object. Now we'll check what this declaration contains. For that, I will use console.log to display this of canvas. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I go to the insert element, here we can see the entire canvas element. That is how the DOM tree will work. Now we'll set the height and width to this canvas with the help of canvas dot attribute of width equal to 700, and same for height also canvas dot height equal to 400. If I save, if I go to the browser, here we can see the canvas height and width based on the properties here. Once we save the project, the live server will automatically take care and reflect the changes here. For this, we need to create the basic charts from the top to bottom with the help of some particular data. So I will create some data with a value of 10, 15, 5 like this. With the help of this, we can set the values and graph of the charts. For that, we need to use the ctx dot begin path. This will help us to begin the graphics, and we'll set the ctx dot fill style equal to white color, and now we need to fill the graphics based on the data. For that, we need to loop through the data with the help of for each. Inside this for each, we'll get the data, and I will check what this contains with the help of console.log of data comma I. I is an index. We'll check if I go to the browser. Here in the console, we can see the objects with index. Inside the object, we can get the values. If I refresh, here we can see the values of 10 and then index of 0. Here we can see all the values inside the object. With the help of this, we can create the graphics. So for this, first we need to find the last y. Why? Because the canvas is a two-dimensional array. We can use the x and y axis to draw the values. For that, we can find the last x with the help of canvas height minus math.floor. We discussed more about this on our playlist with the help of data.value. This value is coming from that object, and we need to find the maximum value of this. We need to create one more const with the help of maximum equal to data dot reduce. We can set the ACC of accurate and then LOC as local, and inside this we'll check ACC dot value greater than local dot value, then we'll get ACC, else we'll get LCC. If I save, we can see the maximum values with the help of console dot log of that maximum. I will command this for now. If I save, if I go to the browser, here we can see the maximum value of 15. Here inside the data, here we have the maximum value of 15 instead of 5 will set to 0. If I save, if I go to the browser, we can get the maximum value of 50 here. That is how this const will work. Now we need to find the last y based on the maximum values, and we'll set the maximum dot value and we'll multiply with canvas dot height. So now we'll check what is this last y contains of the each point with the help of console dot log with last y. If I save, if I go to the browser, here we can see the maximum value of 15, and then for 134, this 134 is for this 10, and then 0 for this 15, and then 267 for this 5. Based on this, we'll get the last y. With the help of this, we need to draw. As I said, this is a two-dimensional array. We need to find the last x also with the help of math.floor with canvas dot width divided by data dot length. We'll multiply with index. Here we are finding the last text with the help of canvas width and height, and we are multiplying by I. Why? Because here we have get the canvas width. Inside the canvas width only we need to place the graphics, and we are divided by data.length. So we can easily calculate with the help of width 700 divided by we have a 8 object. For example, we'll get the 87.5. So for each point we'll get the space of 87.5, and then we need to draw this ctx dot line 2. We are using this function of line 2 because we need to create the line in it with the help of lost x and lost y, because this is a two-dimensional array and we need to stoke the style with color value of white, and we need to fill this with the help of fill text with data dot value, comma, will set the lost text and will set the plus 15. So this will not touch the line, we'll get the space between line and text, and same as lost y will set for plus 10, and we need to stoke this with the help of ctx dot stroke function. If I save, if I go to the browser, here we can't see the graphics line. Why? Because we need to move the ctx between x and y. For that, we'll check I of index triple equal to 0, and we'll move the ctx dot move to with lost x comma lost y. If I save, if I go to the browser, we can't see the line in it. Why? Because here we can check this data and we need to check this lost x lost y. Okay, here we have missed the datas. Instead of data, here we have the data of that parameter. We need to check the entire length of this data's object. So if I save now, if I go to the browser, here we can see the line starting from this x point and then it is ending with y. Same as this, it will draw from each point. If you want, we can add the values next to the one and it will draw the graphics line here. So for that, I will jump to this data. After this value 1, I will add one more parameter of 55. If I save, if I go to the browser, here we can see the 55 between both values. Here it will start from 10 and it is went to 55. Instead of this, I will change to 25. If I save, now we can see that 10, 15 and it went to the 25. Now this is a basic one. So we need to add the x-axis and y-axis of this chart. So how we can do that? For that, we can create one radio box, so that will help us to change the basic and advanced chart in between this. For that, I need to add the radio button with the help of div. For that, I will use dot radio group. If I hit enter, it will automatically created the div. Because of that embed abbreviation, we have discussed more about our playlist. Inside this, we'll add the input type equal to this radio. We'll set the ID of basic and we'll set the name of chart type and value of basic. The same thing I will copy and I will paste it below. Instead of ID basic, I will change to advanced and I will change the value also. If I save, if I go to the browser, here we can see the two radio buttons. Here we have set the name group, so we can select either one. So if I change the name group to some other type, if I save, if I go to the browser, here we can select both the radio box. That is how the input group will work based on the name type for the radio button. So I will use the same name of chart type. Either we can select basic or advanced. Other than this, we'll add the label for this for basic and we'll set the text as basic. Same thing I will copy and I will use for advanced also, and I will change the value to advanced. If I save, if I go to the browser, here we can see the basic and advanced text to this. We need to style this. For that, I need to jump to the style.css. We'll use the class selector to add the styles with the help of dot radio group. We'll set the display to flags and we'll set the align item center. Just justify content to be center. If I save, if I go to the browser, here we can see the text and radio button into the same line. Along with this, I will set the margin bottom to 5px. And here we don't have space. For that, I can use the and NBSP for the space of front and back side to this text. If I save, if I go to the browser, here we can see the one additional space to the text. If I refresh, here both is unchecked. For the first time, I need to show the basic. For that, this basic, I can add the attribute of checked. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I refresh, here we can see the basic is checked. Once we click advanced, we need to change the advance of this graph. For that, I need to create the event listener for this. With the help of declaration, I will use const of basic click equal to document dot get element by id with the help of basic, and the same thing for advanced also. So I will copy and paste this id value for this, and this is for advanced click. Now we need to trigger this event with the help of this selection basic click dot add event listener. This will help us to fire the click event with the help of function. Inside this we need to call that, so same as I will copy and paste it below. For the advanced click, I will use this same function. For now, I will set one alert to check both the event is firing or not. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I click on advanced, we can get the alert message of advanced. If I click on basic, we'll get the alert message of basic. That is how the click event will work. Now inside this, we need to create the functions. Whenever we click basic, we need to run this as a function. Whenever we click advanced, we need to create one more function to display that. As I said, for this, first I will make this as a one function. With the help of function keyword, create basic chart, and we'll call all the declarations inside this function. If I save, if I go to the browser, here we can't see the basic chart also. Why? Because we have created this function, we have not yet initialized it. For the initialization, we can directly assign this basic chart into the onload. Why? Because here we have set the basic chart as checked by default. If I save, if I go to the browser, here we can see this. If I click on advanced, still the basic chart is displaying. For that, we need to clear this. Inside this, we can clear this canvas with the help of ctx dot clear rect. With the help of 0 and 0 of the x and y, we need to clear the entire canvas with the help of canvas dot width comma canvas dot height. And again we need to call the create basic function here. The same thing, I will copy this and I will paste it inside the advanced also. Instead of this, I can create one more function, create advanced chart, and I will call this function inside this advanced click. If I save, if I go to the browser, here we can see the basic chart first. If I click on advanced, the chart is cleared. If I click on basic again, we can see the basic. For the advanced, it is empty because we need to define the graphics inside this function. Here inside this function, I will create one global declaration of h that contains canvas.height, and for w canvas.width. So many places we are going to use this width and height. So instead of this entire text, I can simply use this one characters. So only I created as a separate value. We need to create data x and y because this advanced chart contain x and y axis of the graphics, right? For that, I have created two set of data with data x and data y. The data x contain text with the weekdays, and then data x contains int with value of the chart. Next to this data x, we need to create a few functions to draw the advanced chart. In that, first we'll create one more function of diagram. Inside this diagram, we need to create the lines. The help of y equal to 60 and x equal to 1, and we need to initialize this diagram function with the help of diagram and function bracket, and inside this we can create the stroke style with the help of ctx dot stroke style equal to color of light white color. And next to this, we need to add the while loop to find the width. So we need to create the box of c till the width. So for that, y less than w that contains canvas dot width. Inside this, we'll create ctx dot begin path and we'll set the ctx dot same as that move to that will start from y of c and it will end to 0. And then same thing of line 2 will start from y and it will get to h minus 40 because end of this we need to have some space, so only I have set to 40 here. And ctx dot stroke, this will help us to fill this, and after the stroke we need to add the y plus equal to 30. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I click on advanced, now we can see the line started from the y of 60, each line between the space of 30. The same thing we need to add for horizontally with the help of while loop again. Now we need to find the x less than h minus 30 because we need to find the n values to the height of the canvas. And inside this, same as above, ctx dot begin path, this will help us to begin the diagram with the help of ctx dot move to, it will start from 60 and it will end to x. And ctx dot line 2 will set the width minus 10 of x, and we need to stroke this with the help of ctx dot stroke, and same as this x plus equal to 30. We need to get the 30 of each side. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I click on advanced, here we can see the 30 of squares between the spaces. Y here we have set for 60. For the y and x axis, we need to add the text, right? So only I have set this as some empty space. The next thing will add the text to this. For that, I will create one more function of function data text. Inside this function, we'll set the y equal to 60 and x equal to 30 because we have set this width and height of the y and 30 for the space of 60 and 30 only. And we'll get one more declaration of n equal to math.max with the help of data x. What this n contains will show you console.log of n, and will declare the function here of data text will be initialized. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I click on advanced, here in the console we can see the 360. This is the max value of that data. So here we can see the max value as 360. On the above simple method, we have used this reduce method to find the maximum. Here we have used the max method to find this value. For that, we need to create one for loop of y data of data y. This data y contains the text of this weekdays because we are going to display these weekdays in below, and we'll fill this text with the help of ctx.font equal to 12px, and we'll set the font style of Arial, and we'll fill this ctx.fill style equal to white color, and we can fill the text with the help of fill text, and we'll get the y data as a text of weekdays, and we'll set this y, and we'll find the space of y-axis between y minus 10. So this will place the value after this 10. So it will be pointing to this particular line. And again, the next point to the y should be, we need to set plus equal to, for getting the next point, we need to define the one more global declaration of ys equal to width minus 40 because we have this space between of the width of minus 40, and will divide by data y dot length, and will assign this ys to this y of next point. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I click on advanced, here we are getting only Friday. We need to get all the text right. So I will check if any error is there. I will go to the the console. Here we can get the error of reference error. YS is not defined. Okay, here we have set this YS after the data initialization. This should be on top of this. That is how the hosting will work in the JavaScript. Now if I save, if I go to the browser, if I click on advanced, here we can see the all text is placed into the Y. The same thing we can set to the values of this side also with the help of while loop again with while x less than height minus 30. Inside this we can create this ctx.font. We'll set this as 11px and then Arial again, and we need to fill this with ctx.fill style with same white color. ctx.fill text will get the n and 10 comma x plus y. We are filling this text based on this and will set the x plus equal to 30. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I click on advanced, here we can see all the values is 360. Why? Because this n contains only the maximum values. So we need to place the maximum values on top and we need to remove this from the list and we need to find the next maximum values and I need to set the next to this, right? If this array is in order, then we can directly use 1 2 3 4 5 like this, and some case it is not in proper order, we need to do this maximum. For that we'll use n equal to n minus that value of what we are getting the previous maximum values. For that I will create one more declaration with the help of math.round and math.max. Inside this we'll get the data x minus math.min of same data x divided by 10. This will get the unordered number between this data x of max and min, and will minus this inside the n. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I click on advanced, here we can get the 360, 10 and 340. Why? Because we have divided this entire text. Instead of this, we need to minus this, only these two values. Now if I save, if I go to the browser, if I click on advanced, here we can see the 74 as min and then 360 as max. This is how the data text will be displayed on the chart. Next thing, we'll draw the line based on the pointer values. For that, we'll create one more function of draw. Inside this, create ctx.save as a function and ctx.stroke style equal to same white color, ctx.line breadth equal to 3, and we need to begin this path with ctx begin path and we'll set the y equal to 60 and we'll find the height equal to h minus 30 and we having the line of 30 because we need to start from the value of 30 from here in the begin path, and we'll draw this pointer with the help of for data of data x. Data x contain the value of this parameters. Inside this find the while of max value max greater than data. Inside this we can set the max equal to max minus 1 and we can test plus equal to of the line minus again that un. Set the ctx dot line to will start from 30 and this will that plus y comma test x equal 30 and y plus equal to again that ys, and we need to initialize this draw function of this function parameter. If I say, if I go to the browser, if I click on advanced, we are not getting that line. Why? Because we need to find this maximum. For that we can add this max equal to math dot max of that data x comma rest of value to be 30. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I click on advanced, still it is not showing. Why? Because we have created this begin path and we have not yet stoked this. For that, after this for each, we need to stoke this function of ctx as well as we need to restore. I have restored. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I click on advanced, here we can't see the line. Why? Because here is test, here this instead of text, this should be test what we have declared above. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I click on advanced, now we can see the line it was drawn on top of the canvas. Now we need to add the pointer to this of each path where it was begin. For that we create one more function of pointer and we'll call it on top of this function. Inside this we can fill the style equal to set for blue color and y equal to t, same as height equal to h minus that, because top and bottom both are the same parameters, and we'll set the line to 30 and we'll start 30. For this also we'll use for each and we'll set data of data x. So based on this data x only we need to create that, so we can use the same thing of this function above, and we need to draw the circle for this. For drawing the circle we need to create one more function of circle and we'll pass the x and y to this. Inside this we'll set ctx dot begin path ctx dot arc, because we are going to create this circle with the help of x, y, comma 4 of the radius and then 0 of the start angle, and we'll set the end angle as 2 asterisk mat dot pi, and we need to fill this with the help of ctx dot fill. Now we can use this circle. Inside this for loop circle will pass the 30 of that x plus y and will pass the test as y, and will set the x equal to 30, y plus equal to again that max and min value, and end of this we can set the stroke to this. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I click on advanced, here we can see the dots as a circle. On basic we'll get that basic. If I click on advanced, here we can see the dots of starting point and end point of that each parameter values to the higher one. How simple is this, right? So here we have learned basic chart to advanced, and there you have it. Our custom charts is fully functional and we built it all from scratch using HTML, CSS, JavaScript and Canvas. This is a great way to learn how to work with the Canvas API and create dynamic visual without relying on any libraries. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell for more tutorials. If you are interested in JavaScript projects like this, I have created and added a playlist of 52 weeks, 52 projects, link in the description. Please do check it out. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, keep coding and keep learning. See you in the next video. Happy coding. Bye for now. Have a nice day.